pumped, though? Yes! How's our con been? Yeah! Has it been awesome? Always! Okay, I'm not gonna stall us anymore. Let's just jump in, yeah? Should I introduce our guys? Okay, let's do it! Alright, first off, we have Mr. Gaku Space, the voice of Genji! Don't be intimidated. Okay, next up we have Miss Carolina Ravasa, the voice of Sombra. Sombra Online. Next we have Mr. Keith Silverstein, the voice of Torbjorn. Torbjorn! And finally, we have Mr. Johnny Cruz, the voice of Lucio! Okay, so
there's a lot of people out there. Hello, everybody.
Thank you for coming.
Great.
So we're going to start off and we're going to do this panel a little differently. So we're going to do a few questions, and then I have a game for these guys, but we're going to save that for a minute. So we're going to jump in and keep it super mysterious.
Could be anything. Who knows? You're going to give us games?
What?
She's going to give us games, she says.
Names?
Games. We're going to get games.
No, you're going to get names.
We're going to get names, everybody.
Yes, names.
I hope I get a good name.
We're going to get flames?
What are
You're going to get inflamed.
You're inflamed?
Like swollen.
I thought the doctor said you were healing up fine.
No, that I'm insane. That's what she's
Carolina's insane? This is...
in the membrane.
Gaku, thanks so much for joining in on that.
Thank you. This silence says a lot.
We're going to flame your
He
games.
disapproves.
Now you guys are confusing me. I don't even know what to think anymore.
This is what happens. We all hang out and we riff and we riff and we riff and Gaku goes,
And then
and then he laughs. And then he laughs. And then he goes,
I think that's smile.
And then he goes, I'm Genji. I'm sorry. As you were.
You're good. It's all, you know what? This is why we're here. So let's start with this. What was your guys' favorite part of MomoCon so far?
What has been the favorite part? I mean, honestly, the fans have been incredible. I was here 2 years ago, and I was like, this con is insane. They invited me back, and it's double insane. I love it. Like, it's one of my top favorites. So, yeah. Tell the truth.
next time you come back, it's going to be triple insane.
Ooh, that's too much insane.
That's how they roll. They can't have you a fourth time because that's illegal. It's too insane at that point. It cannot happen. Okay, that was started off as a real laugh, and then you extended it, and I am aware that you did that.
No, that was real.
For me, my favorite thing at every con is always the same thing. I love the cosplayers. I think it's fantastic. It makes my convention experience. So for all of you cosplaying out there, props to you.
Absolutely.
You guys work really hard. It's awesome. I see you, Ladybug.
Likewise, I think that meeting you guys and getting to interact and hear how you're connected to Overwatch and why you love our characters or the community or what we do is great. And the cosplayers, all you Sombra cosplayers out there, you better come and say hi. Yes, thank you. Come to the table later, because...
Me?
Sure.
Aquarium was great. Gaku likes whales.
I love fish.
Yeah, I'm from Japan.
Oh, because the aquarium. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you just answered I like fish. And what's your favorite thing about the con? I like fish.
Crazy.
All right, that's cool. Come to MomoCon. Go to fish.
Do we have any bodies of water around here? How'd you guys get started in voice acting?
It was 1902. No, I'm kidding.
No, I like where you're going with this.
I was a young girl. No, sorry, I don't even know why I did that. I was like, that's a long, dramatic story. A lot of us are... I'm not awake right now. I'm sorry.
I love the way you start this. Everybody in the world, most people, a lot of it... Alright, where are you going with this?
No, personally, I have been acting since I was 4 years old, not professionally, just for fun, and voice acting has been a part of my life that just kind of went into the acting tree of life, and so it's one of the many things I like to do. Sorry, that's a roundabout way of getting to this answer. I'm going to refrain from talking right now.
No, I love it. You should always talk. For me, when I was younger, I was very confused. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I did a little bit of like a bunch of different things, and I wasn't good enough at any of them to succeed. And then it's true. I thought I was going to do everything. And then my uncle called me up and he said, look, I'm doing a documentary. I've done this artwork and I've done this poetry and I want the poetry to match the faces in this artwork, basically. And so I auditioned. I booked a few characters, but he rented out a full, like a legit studio. And when I recorded, I realized like that was a thing. Like I really didn't, I guess I knew it, but it wasn't one of the many things I considered. So as soon as I was done that session, I was like, I gotta find a class, whatever I've gotta do to get started, I've gotta do. And from then it was just a lot of work. A lot of just still waiting tables and getting a gig like every 4 months for a long time. And then finally getting a good agent and things getting better. And that's how I got started. And it was 1902.
For me, I started doing on camera or just regular acting, and I never really considered voiceover because it was, I guess, with my own beliefs. I didn't think I had a voice that was like, I don't know, like a promo voice or a deep, sultry, Matt Mercer voice. So for me, I didn't think about it. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to be good at that, or that's something that'll get me somewhere. And that was my own, of course, limited thinking. But I just kept doing acting in any which way I could, through classes, through theater, making my own videos. And at some point, all that accumulated to me getting like a really nice demo reel of like good work. And then I moved to LA, and one of my managers that I got out here was like, hey, do you want to meet a voiceover agent? And I was just like, yeah, sure, whatever. It wasn't really my focus. And so I went in, I met with them. They saw my reel, I read for them. And then a week later, I didn't hear anything, so I wrote them, and I was like, yo, we gonna do this or what? And then they sent me paperwork. I signed it. And I didn't realize, like, going through that process, how difficult of a process it is to get into voiceover. I was just like, yeah, whatever, let's do it. And I started auditioning, and that's when I realized, like, this big difference between on camera and in the booth. And for me, it took like 3 years of like auditioning regularly to ever book anything in the voiceover world. And I was like, man, this is difficult. This is hard. But as I started to pay more attention to it, because I was always focused on camera and really find my own voice in the booth, I think I slowly started to see that I had the possibility to have some good voiceover work. So I started paying attention, doing it, taking classes in voiceover specifically to find my voice, to find the sincerity in my delivery. And at some point, I think I found this nice little groove where I started booking some voiceover work, and one of those grooves was Overwatch, and then boom, because you never know. So yeah, that's my journey, my entire journey.
I started voice acting because I wanted to make money. I mean, in LA, there's so much competitions, right? And as an actor, first goal is to survive as an actor. So whenever they ask you, hey, what do you do? And then I can say, I'm an actor. I used to work at a restaurant for 7 years, and then every time they ask me, what do you do? And I hated to say I'm an actor because I was working at a restaurant 5 nights a week, So then I was thinking myself, how can I make money as a professional actor? I go to audition for movie, TV, commercial, what else? Okay, voiceover. And then I speak Japanese, so I made a demo reel only in Japanese because I wanted to stand out and send them out to the voiceover agencies. And then one of them called me, hey, I'm gonna have an interview with you. And then she said, I don't have any Japanese guy on my lineup, so I want to take you in. And then she happened to be one of the biggest voiceover agents in town. She has like a Mark Hamill, Ron Perlman, those kind of stuff. So, I was lucky enough to get into the voiceover world quickly. And of course, I'm talented, so it's, yeah.
Very humble as well. Humble.
He tells it like it is. I respect that. I like that.
So, as you guys get started and get more character voices, how do you more efficiently lock into your character voices?
Yeah, it's so loud up here.
Use that microphone.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Perfect.
Did you guys hear her question though? You guys could. We could.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how do you guys efficiently lock into your characters? Because you guys have been doing this a while now. How do you get more efficient within locking in, oh, this person's going to sound like this?
I think it's repetition, whatever that is. We do a lot of, I do, some people, all of us, see, I got it too now. I have a lot of auditions throughout the week, and so I spend different amounts of time on each audition. I might be super excited about one, so I spend a little more time, or I may have the time versus not having the time, and I've got to knock it out kind of quickly. But ideally, I can read through, if it's a character piece, I can read through the copy a number of different times, if I've got the time, to really kind of see what nuances I start to bring. I can sit down, and because we audition at home, generally, so I can listen to my audition and say, oh, I like this, I don't like that about it, and try a few times. A lot of times you got to just do it, though. You get like a couple of takes, and that's it. I think even when we're on the job, sometimes we lock into the character a little bit more. Because when you really sit and you get, once you're like 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes in, for me, I get even more focused, more into it. Plus, you got the input of the directors, the producers maybe, the client, whoever else is in there. And all that, for me at least, affects who the character is. And I find even over a series, if you're working on a series, sometimes even throughout the series, the character shifts and changes just a little bit until by the end of that series, you've really locked into where it is. And it's changed. You can't always tell because you guys take the journey with us, but sometimes there's a little difference from the first episode to like the last episode of the series and how the character sounds, how they hold themselves and their attitudes.
Yeah, Sombra started out as a Russian character, so if you hear the first voice lines, it's a little, and then we've got... I think that it's a lot of playing around, right, with our voices too. I think that sometimes I have a few kid characters I do, and then I watch a new cartoon, and that character's a little squeakier, so then I try to imitate it, and then I mix that squeak with my character and add a southern accent or a lisp for something, and so there are always layers we can add to things, especially when we're doing character voices. I remember I took a class in LA with Anjali recently for voiceover. We're constantly taking class as well to better what we're doing. And, I think I was voicing a hippo and she sounded like this. And then the teacher was like, I kind of want to hear like a southern twang to her, like she's a southern belle. So all of a sudden she was southern. I don't know if that's southern, but whatever, it's my take on it. But I was like, oh cool, like you add something to it, and then all of a sudden the character is just that much more interesting. And you're like, what the heck's going on with that hippo, So I think that it's playing and being creative and imaginative with our voices.
Usually for me, to get into Lucio's skin, I have to drink some coffee. I stand for my recordings, and a big part of it is like, for me it's body a little bit for Lucio. And getting into my body and feeling loose and ready to like jump, pounce, woo, woo, and do it like that. Oh my god.
Getting loosey.
So yeah, I think for me it's like kind of a body thing, and like finding that like looseness and like that ready to pop and spark and like having this, readiness. So I think for me a lot of like acting is just being in tune with my body. What makes different sounds come out, postures, things like that. That's very helpful for me.
Okay, cool. Wait, Gaku, did we hear from you?
Same.
Perfect.
Clear, easy to...
When he voices Lucio, he needs to feel really close.
Loosen up a lot for Genji, huh? Loosen up?
Yeah. As an actor, for me, in my opinion, it's not about what you can do, it's what choices you can make. So you try different things, and then you take risks, and then finally suddenly you kind of click. So don't be afraid to go like some different stuff in general in life.
Life.
Yeah, different than other people do, and then you find something else.
Throw different stuff in life.
Yeah.
Dr. Space.
Yes.
Alright, so we're gonna attempt to do this game. Do you guys want to do the game?
Sure.
Oh, sweet. Okay. I gotta admit, I'm being very humble, but I'm really excited about it. Okay, so how this is gonna go? I am gonna give you guys a tongue twister. You're going to say it in any voice you choose. It can be your Overwatch voice. It can be Miss Southern Hippo. Whatever voice you want to do. If you mess up, you have to choose another character on this panel and try to mimic their voice and say the same tongue twister in that voice.
If you want to hear a voice.
Yeah.
I thought it was like any voice.
No, one of ours.
At first it's any voice, and then if you mess up, then it's one of ours.
Pick another voice. It's got to be.
One of the... What? Only here?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Alright, we all clear on that?
Yes.
Cool, let's do this. Alright. So let's start with something easy. Alright. Mommy made me eat M&Ms.
Well, we're not reading it, we're just saying it.
I'm saying it to you guys, and then you guys are gonna pick whatever voice you want to do. Mommy made me eat M&Ms.
Is that for me?
We can start it at the end, wherever you want to start.
You start.
Figuring it out. Any voice. Let me see. We just pick something way down in there.
Mommy made me eat M&Ms.
Did I do it?
You did it very well, well done.
Mommy made me eat M&Ms.
You messed up. I don't know.
He hiccuped.
Mama made me beat him. No,
Mama made me beat.
eat M&Ms. Yeah.
Mama made me beat M&M.
You know we're gonna run out of their voice. I'm gonna use 3 of their voices. And it was really just a stutter because I was way too fast in my throat.
Okay, what's our consensus on that? Do we-
Way back. It's crazy.
Mama made me eat M&Ms.
Mama made me eat M&Ms.
That's pretty good. Very scary. Pretty good.
Okay, good.
They're gonna get harder.
They're gonna get harder. Oh, they're gonna get harder. Okay. 2 tiny tigers take 2 taxis to town.
Tiny tigers.
2 tiny tigers take 2 taxis to town. 2 taxis to town.
Like 2 tiny tigers take 2 taxis to town.
Is that perfect? Yeah.
2 tiny tigers take 2 taxis to town.
2 tiny tigers. 2 tiny taxis to town.
Oh no!
2 tiny tigers take 2 taxis to town.
Who was
Wait,
that?
who's that?
Which character was that?
What was that?
It has to be one of us.
I need healing.
He just doesn't play the game. But
Let's go.
He makes his own rules.
That's the way to live life.
oh, the 2 tiny taxi attendants. That's what you sound like.
Come get you.
2 tiny tigers take 2 taxis to town.
Okay.
I was like, let's read this.
Oh gosh. Okay, this one's mean.
This one's me.
Well, you do the mean one. We're not afraid of a challenge.
Slits her sheets she slits. Upon her slitted sheets she sits.
Ooh, I don't want that one because we're all gonna curse.
I
Don't
know.
give us that one. Only you'll get that one.
You know
We'll
what?
all curse.
Purposely was going through the S ones. I'm like, no, this is PG. We can't go.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can't be doing that.
Yeah,
Okay.
She's gonna shit her sheets if I do that.
Clearly, that's the point.
That's what I'm going to say. I'll tell you right now. A whole different story.
Or my mother is a mother.
Did you hear what Torbjörn said?
Yes.
I can't believe it.
Okay. I wish to wash my Irish wristwatch.
Oh.
I wish
I wish to wash my Irish.
I'm going to say it one more time. I wish to wash my Irish wristwatch. Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard one.
I wish to wash my Irish wristwatch.
I wish to wash my Irish wristwatch.
Yes.
Do your song, brother.
I wish to wash my Irish wristwatch.
I wish to wash my Irish, which one? You don't get a
Okay, we got a new rule. Is it cheating if you do it in another language? What do you guys think?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, whatever. You guys do it in another language.
That is wristwatch in Japanese.
Okay. Do you guys want a harder one or an easier one?
Hard.
Hard?
Harder, sure. Well, we can't say easy, so harder.
Okay. Let's do this.
My mother is a mother pheasant plucker. She plucks mother pheasants. My mother is the pleasantest mother pheasant plucker that ever plucked a mother pheasant.
Do we want to do that one?
No, Kitty. No. You know what I would say?
Okay, then we're gonna do another mean one. If Stu choose shoes, should Stu choose the shoes he choose? Oh yeah, it's hard. If Stu choose shoes, choose. Yeah. Okay, I'll mimic it. If Stu, Stu the name, choose, shoes that you put on your feet. Should Stu choose the shoes?
Can I read it?
Yeah.
Okay, say that again.
All right, I'm gonna start and I'll pass it down. I'll say it one more time. If Stu choose shoes, should Stu chew the shoes he choose?
Should Stu choose?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think.
If Stu choose what? What is that cheating?
Somebody
Called being smart. If Stu choose the shoe, should Stu choose the shoes he choose?
Hey, if Stu choose shoes, should Stu choose the shoes he choose?
If Stu choose shoes, should Stu choose the shoes he choose?
Should.
I need a healing.
Peter.
Now give us your Lucio or something.
Oh, let's break it down.
He was so excited.
Hi.
Just give it to him, man. Just give it to him.
Gaku's playing his own game.
Which he plays very well.
Yes. He always wins.
He's winning now.
He's off fishing somewhere. He's out of this convention entirely.
He likes fish.
I like sushi. Sashimi too. Oh yeah.
It's all good. All right. Cross that one off.
What?
We will. Yeah, okay.
For 29 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do one more and then we'll do questions. Now, a note about Q&A, guys.
Yeah, let's
Please
do
don't
it.
trample over each other. We want this to be safe and happy and nice. So be nice to one another. Okay.
So if you're going to trample under each other. All right, let's keep it clean, folks.
Trample kindly.
Okay. Oh, this one's fun. In Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to say that one more time, please.
In Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen. It's your
Happen in Hartford.
in Hartford, Hereford, and Hereford, like Hereford, and Hampshire. Hurricanes hardly ever happen.
Hurricanes hardly ever happen. Okay, Q&A.
In Hartford, Hampshire, and Harmony, whatever you said, hurricanes hardly ever happen. Let's break it down!
Because I know that I messed that up. But I didn't remember the city name.
En Hartford, Hereford y yo no sé cuántas, los huracanes casi nunca pasan. Oh, let's break it down!
Okay, Q&A.
Let's do it.
Come on, Gagu.
I need to read it then.
Come on, do it. Everybody up there is
I'm listening with my notebook. You're gonna throw it all over.
Yeah.
That's a Q&A.
In Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen.
Hampshire. What? Hardly hurricane ever happens. Ever.
Yes!
In Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen.
Yay!
That was Old Lady Lucio.
Old lady,
Yo, yo!
See ya.
you guys all get brownies and you all won. Good job.
Yay!
Where are the brownies?
Oh.